Good evening, Stevens Point. I'm Anyon Rettinger.
And I'm Erica Baker.
This week for news, UWSP Homecoming is this weekend. Cornerstone Press is publishing a collection of poetry, and the second presidential debate was this past Sunday. Hurricane Matthew has struck the U.S.
All this and more when we return. This semester, Cornerstone Press is planning to publish a new collection of poetry. Evan Peterson has the story.
Every year, the student-run publishing house on campus, Cornerstone Press, publishes a book. The press goes through all of the submitted manuscripts that they receive over the year and choose one to publish and sell. This semester, the book the press has chosen to publish is a collection of poetry entitled Meditations of a Beast.
It's a poetry collection, and it's sort of, I don't want to say it's a dark collection, but it definitely has elements of horror writing written into it. It's something that you can't put into specifically one genre, though, because it's kind of eclectic. It's all over the place.
The book is written by author Christine Ong Muslim, an author from the Philippines, who is the first international author that the press has worked with. She has been nominated for numerous awards, including multiple Pushcart prizes and the Bram Stoker Award.
She's actually a very well-known poet, and she's a horror writer, and she's well-known internationally. The Chicago Review of Books has put her on their reading list of the best books of 2016 so far.
Cornerstone Press has released many other books since it began in 1984, and has been the start of several famous authors, like best-selling author Patrick Rothfuss.
We have a wide range of books, though, for everyone. We have a lot of essay collections, we have poetry collections, we have memoirs, novels, so everyone is kind of going to find something they like at Cornerstone.
Meditations of a Beast is scheduled to be released on December 9th. There will be events sponsored by Cornerstone Press during the week leading up to the book's release. Additionally, there will be occasional book sales put on by Cornerstone throughout the semester, with the dates of these sales yet to be determined. Keep an eye out for these sales if you are interested in seeing what else Cornerstone Press has to offer. For SPTV, I'm Evan Peterson.
For more information about Christine Ong Muslim and Cornerstone Press, visit their website.
The Communications Department has many student-run organizations. The Pointer is an organization for aspiring writers to gain experience in journalism. Our Ji-Sung Kim has more.
This newspaper, The Pointer, features news, environment, sports, and arts and entertainment. Students join the organization for a variety of reasons.
So a big reason why I joined The Pointer, I actually saw that they were looking for contributors, which is basically you would write for free. Always wanted to improve my writing. I think that was like one of my weaknesses. I wasn't like the best writer, I was all right. So I started writing for free for a couple weeks, and then I got asked to be a reporter. So then ever since then I've been working here for a year and a half.
Reporters contribute their time and effort for a perfect article.
I write 2 stories per week, and it varies. Sometimes it's focused on arts and entertainment, or it's a news story. So I do about 6 interviews a week, because we're supposed to have 3 sources per story, and then I take time writing those stories.
Reporters come from various backgrounds such as biology, journalism, and students that are interested in environment. They can choose any topic they're interested in.
I read about the farmers market recently, and I grew up always eating healthy food and eating local food, so I was super interested just to hear about what Stevens Point Farmers Market is doing. I got to talk to Farm Shed and Students for Sustainability, so that was super interesting for me, and I feel like I just thrived during that article as well, because I liked talking about what I was writing about.
Some of the articles written by the reporters make the cover of the newspaper, and it can be quite a success and resume builder.
I was super excited when I saw it. I didn't know that it was going to be on the cover, but when I did, I texted my mom and all my friends and said, "Hey, look at my stories on the front page," and they were also excited for me as well.
They say that their experience at the Pointer will help them achieve future goals.
Something I want to do later in my life once I become a physician assistant is I would love to publish scientific articles or scientific studies or like something that I do. So I definitely think it helps in terms of that for writing. Even though science is a different kind of writing, it still has the basic like sentence structures and things like that.
For SPTV, I'm Ji-Sung Kim.
Every Wednesday, a new edition of The Pointer is distributed throughout campus. For more information, visit The Pointer's office on the first floor of the Communications Building.
Ben Franklin Junior High School will be hosting the Stevens Point Portage County E-Cycle Drive. The E-Cycle Drive is a county-wide electronic and appliance recycling drive and a fundraiser for the high school. Besides smaller electronics like cell phones, iPods, and computers, the cycle drive will now accept refrigerators, washers, dryers, stoves, and dishwashers. This fundraiser is sponsored by Ben Franklin Jr. PBIS Committee, ODC, and Express Recycling. The E-Cycle Drive will be held on Saturday, October 15th from 8 a.m. to noon, the Ben Franklin Junior High East parking lot.
It's not too late to start thinking about housing for next year. SGA has been hosting housing panels to help answer students' questions regarding housing for next year.
I was able to talk with the Student Life and Academic Affairs Director about the off-campus housing panels and how she hopes to help students.
I want to educate students. When I was moving off campus last year, I felt really intimidated by the whole process and just about where to start, what to do, what not to do, what to look out for. I was just honestly really intimidated, and I definitely think a lot of students are on the same page. So I wanted to educate them, and I also wanted to empower them.
Panelists are members of the community taking time out of their days to help inform students. One of their main focuses is on what rights students have as tenants.
Them to show them that this is your money, you are the tenant, you have rights just as much as the landlord does, you have legal rights, you do have a leg to stand on, and you do have power, and you do have say. I think a lot of students are intimidated by like the authority of like what landlords are. They don't want to make anybody mad, they don't want to be rude. They should know what rights they have.
Students are able to get the perspectives of a landlord, police sergeant, and other community organizations.
As a community, so they are taking time out of the day, and they are coming down, especially in the evenings as well, outside of their work hours, to do this. So it's all volunteer on their time, and the students who are there ask eloquent questions, they ask intelligent questions, and I think in general it's going really well.
So far, the panels have had very positive outcomes. Reporting for SPTV, this is Erica Baker.
For more information, check the campus announcements.
The UWSP Campus Food Pantry, The Cupboard, is a great resource for Pointer students in need. The Cupboard recently announced the addition of perishable foods to their available selection. Anyon Rettinger has the story.
Cupboard coordinator Caitlin Wanta has been volunteering with the Cupboard for about a year before becoming the coordinator, which is a student job on campus through SIEO. The food pantry has been around for a few years now to provide food to a lot of students in times of needs. Wanta has been able to see the impacts on students firsthand.
Last week was our 5-year anniversary of being open, so that's exciting. Yeah, and it started by students for students, so some students realized that there was a huge need for food on campus. A lot of students need financial aid or pay for bills, and they don't have money for food. So we were started to help feed student success on campus. They can come weekly, or they can come one time for emergencies. So if someone's house burns down, they don't have anything, they can come get food one time. Or if the bills are tight and they don't get a paycheck that week for some reason, they can come get food. Last year we had over 11,000 pounds of incoming food, and yeah, that's incredible. So we're feeding lots of students.
The Cupboard has partnered with Dining Services to make perishable foods available to students, which is new this year. Hard work from Wanta to meet regulations, and the partnership with Dining Services is going to make a huge impact on the campus.
We actually got a fridge donated from Dining Services, so that kind of started the process. And we're partnering with Dining Services in a lot of ways. Food for Friends is one way that we do that. So students can donate their extra meal swipes, and then we hand them out to clients at the Cupboard. So now we have a fridge, and I often go to Operation Bootstrap in Plover and get perishable donations like juice, yogurt, milk, and then I also go get bread as well from Triggs. The Giving Gardens actually donate a bunch of produce, and students love that. We started that because a lot of students suggested that they wanted perishable foods, and I thought, yes, absolutely, why are we not doing this?
The Cupboard is available to all students and is located in the Dreyfus University Center with hours of operation throughout the week.
Come straight to the Cupboard. Our hours are Monday through Wednesday, 1:30 to 4:30, If they cannot come during that time, they can also fill out an online order. So if you go to the UWSP website, you search the cupboard, and you find the online order. Super simple, and then they can pick that up during SIEO's office hours or even after. We can set it outside for them as well.
WANTA and SIEO have really done a lot to boost awareness and promote the food pantry, but their goal is ultimately to equip students with the tools to be successful and empower them in their daily life.
Students are able, to provide for themselves.
For SPTV News, I'm Anyon Rettinger.
If you are in need of any food or want to learn more about the cupboard, visit the UWSP website and search the cupboard or stop at the SIEO office for more information.
Next week, UWSP will host an event called Breaking Down Bicycle Barriers, Revisited, to discuss possible changes for cyclists around campus. Evan Peterson has more.
If you ride a bike to class every day, then there may be an upcoming event that could concern you. Next Monday, October 17th, UWSP will host an event called Breaking Down Bicycle Barriers Revisited. The event will take a look at some of the perceived and actual barriers concerning bicycle riders in Stevens Point and other cycling-related topics.
I'm hoping to get feedback from students, faculty, staff, and community members on what their perception is as to what the barriers are in this community and on this campus. So I know a lot of them. This is something I educate on, I learn about, I do research on, I also try to enact policy on.
This will be the third edition of Breaking Down Bicycle Barriers, with 2 events being held during last school year. This event was born partly out of frustrations at conditions for cyclists on campus, with one of the primary causes being current bike racks, which are not ideal racks to be used on a college campus, as they can damage bicycles.
They're called schoolyard racks, and they're also known to the industry as tire benders or wheel benders. So basically, if you park your bike there in the middle, which they encourage, and someone touches your bike, it knocks over and bends your wheel. Why create something like that?
Breaking Down Bicycle Barriers Revisited will be held at 8 p.m. this Monday in the CCC Room 116. Keep an eye on your daily student announcement emails to learn more as the event draws closer. For SPTV, I'm Evan Peterson.
To learn more about the upcoming event, visit the event's Facebook page.
The traditional Mexican holiday of Dia de los Muertos is being celebrated at UWSP. This holiday allows the living to commemorate the dead with food, music, and to overall celebrate the lives of their past loved ones. To honor the festivities, the Carlston Arts Gallery is hosting a variety of different exhibits pertaining to the holiday, such as sugar skulls and displays are being crafted by students. Organizations on campus, movies will be shown over the duration of the celebration within the Noel Fine Arts Center. The gallery will be open October 10th through the 30th, with hours from Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Thursdays, from 7 to 9 p.m. on weekends, from 1 to 4.
While October is an important month for breast cancer awareness and sustainability, there's a special week that raises awareness for another topic. UWSP's Gender Sexuality Alliance is having its annual Coming Out Week from October 17th through the 20th. The student organization is having different events every day, starting with the Rocky Horror Picture Show on Monday, October 20th in the DUC Theater. On Tuesday, students will share their coming out stories, and on Wednesday, there will be a speed meet and greet event, and on Thursday, there will be discussion on what gray means. Students are welcome and encouraged to participate in these events. For more information or to get involved, check out the Gender Sexuality Alliance's Facebook page.
The southeast coast of the United States is still fighting Hurricane Matthew. The hurricane has resulted in 29 deaths in the U.S., with 19 occurring in North Carolina. Flooding has become a major concern in the state, with the federal government declaring disasters in 31 of North Carolina's 100 counties. In the flood areas of the state, power is off and many people are forced to flee to storm shelters. Floodwaters have been estimated to rise 3 to 5 inches per hour, and mandatory evacuations are being ordered throughout the state. Hurricane Matthew hit the United States after striking Haiti. Officials have declared at least 300 people dead, with thousands more needing medical assistance. This has been the worst humanitarian crisis since the earthquake in 2010 that killed 200,000 people.
American songwriter, singer, and author Bob Dylan won the 2016 Nobel Peace Prize in Literature today and is the first American to be rewarded this specific award since author Toni Morrison in 1993. The world has praised him for having created his poetic expressions within the great American song tradition and has been compared to the ancient Greek poets. Bob Dylan's songs and lyrics have touched a generation of people during the 1960s and helped motivate the civil rights movement. He has recorded a large number of albums dealing with topics of religion, the social condition of men, politics, and love. President Barack Obama presented Bob Dylan with the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2012, which is the nation's highest civilian honor. With this announcement, Bob Dylan has become the 108th winner of the most prestigious literature award in the world.
That is all of the news we have for you this evening.
We'll be right back with the sports after the break.
Warzala, the 7th largest book printer in North America, is hiring students for the semester. We are 100% employee-owned and located right here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. All shifts currently hiring, with jobs starting at $10.80 an hour. Hours are flexible. For more information, contact the Warzala HR department.
This week in sports, the Green Bay Packers are coming off a 23-16 victory over the New York Giants Sunday night at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers was 23 of 45 for 259 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Ellis carried the ball 11 times for 81 yards before leaving the game with an ankle injury. The Packers' run defense continued its success, only allowing 43 rushing yards. The defense also had 4 sacks in the game as well. The Packers are back at home this Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys in what looks to be an all-out battle as the league's top rushing attack in the Cowboys goes up against the league's best rush defense in the Packers. Kickoff is set for a 3:25 Sunday afternoon. The UWSP football is coming off its first loss of the season, a 47-31 defeat at the hands of conference foe UW-Platteville Saturday afternoon at Gilchrist Park. Quarterback Ryan Swigart was 6 of 16 for 145 yards and threw 1 interception. The Pointers' offense got rushing touchdowns from Swigart, Evan Dux, and Darren Ward. Jerry Williams also had an 84-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. The Pointers' defense was torched for 529 yards of total offense by UW-Platteville. The Pointers are at home this Saturday for the homecoming game against the 5th-ranked UW-Oshkosh, in what looks to be another tough WIAC conference game. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. and we will once again be broadcasting the game from Gilchrist Park. The UWSP women's volleyball team lost in 4 sets to UW La Crosse in a conference matchup Saturday in the Berg Gym. The Pointers won the first set of the match before dropping the last 3 sets. The Pointers are back on the court this Saturday in Madison as they participate in the Edgewood Triangular, facing Edgewood and Benedictine. Senior wide receiver Logan Taylor is not only a star player on the UWSP football team, but also off the field. He is an honor roll student and does a lot of volunteering. He is a 4-year starter and has racked up 1,307 receiving yards so far in his career at Point. We learn more about Logan in this week's edition of Getting to Know You.
One thing I would say that I'm superstitious about what I drink on game day. For some reason, just started in high school. One of the things that I always do is I drink fruit punch. I don't know why. It's just always been a thing, and I've just kind of stuck with it. That people will remember me as a guy that worked extremely hard. Just that, regardless of the situation, I was always giving all the effort that I had. And just kind of that I was a guy that people could look up to just by the way that I handled myself on the field, off the field, and in the team, essentially. I would probably pick baseball. For a while, I had contemplated whether I wanted to play football or play baseball in college. What it came down to was just the fact that I felt like I hadn't played football as much as baseball just because the seasons are shorter, and I wasn't ready to give it up yet, but baseball would definitely be the sport that I would play if I wasn't playing football. There's kind of two things that I would say. One is, for me, being more of a kind of quieter, reserved kind of guy. People wouldn't expect me to be super sarcastic. Around my friends, I'm a very sarcastic person, and a lot of times I won't realize that I'm doing it, it just comes off that way. And the second thing would be, I finally got Facebook like the beginning of the summer. So I was a late bloomer with that, that's for sure.
If you have anyone that you would like to nominate, please email us at sptv@uwsp.edu. That's all the sports stories we have for you tonight. Up next is entertainment news with Hope Pennington. I'm Joey Huebsch.
Serving a campus of 9,600 strong, we are the home of UWSP Television. We are SPTV. You can find us on Charter Channel 983, online, or on any of our social media sites.
Welcome back, Pointers. Have you ever wondered what life was like in Stevens Point during the 1950s? Well, now's your chance to find out more. The DUC Theater will be presenting the film UWSP Archives, This Is Our Town, Stevens Point, Wisconsin, with a brief intro from UWSP history professor Neo Prendergast. The film focuses on progresses and pride in Stevens Point's industry, business, recreation facilities, and other places of interest. The film was produced by Robert M. Carson and was recently digitized by Holder Printworkers of Madison. The screening takes place on October 18th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. in the DUC Theater and is free to the public. The Sculpt Foundation is hosting a fundraiser by selling glass-blown pumpkins, glass bowls, plates, and gourds to raise money for their club. I spoke with the president of Sculpt, Amanda Langer, and the coordinator, Victoria Hinson, to find out more. These one-of-a-kind glass-blown pumpkins are sold throughout the year, but this fundraiser specifically kicks off the sales and pays for all of Sculpt's materials. Professor John Chapman thought of this fundraiser a number of years ago. It has become so big that professional artists also attend this event. Sculpt is always open to adding members, so any student is welcome to join. They're also looking into adding metalworkers and ceramics to the club to expand what the students in this foundation can do. This event is this Saturday, October 15th from 8 to 5 p.m. outside the NFAC near the Sundial. For more information, visit uwsp.edu/artdesign. UWSP Theater Department has many theater productions lined up for this academic year. The first performance of the year, titled Unnecessary Farce, is opening this Friday at the Newell Fine Arts Center. Ji-Sung Kim has more.
The UWSP Theater Department will be presenting their first production of the semester called Unnecessary Farce.
So Unnecessary Farce is a comedy about two cops who aren't very good at their job, who are trying to find out where all of this missing money went from the town. So they set up some cameras and they're trying to have a meeting with the mayor. And then all of these crooks come, and there's a huge thing with the Scottish Mafia, and everything kind of goes crazy, and it's really funny.
Students were able to get hands-on experience with the guidance of professors.
So a lot of the technical people have been working over the summer, designing the set and designing the costumes so that they're ready to go once we hit school. For the actors and stage management, and for the director and myself, we are at rehearsal Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 10:30. And then Sundays noon to 6. And then we have to do a lot of work outside of rehearsal just to make sure that we're ready to go in the rehearsal room.
Jaya White is one of the lead characters of the production.
I play Karen Brown, who is a 35-year-old accountant. She works for the mayor of the town, and it's set in a kind of like a medium-sized city in Michigan, so just kind of your average town. It's kind of up to me and these two cops to figure out where all this money's coming from.
She gave her opinion of working in this production and being part of the team.
It's really cool being able to collaborate with both students and professors in this kind of production. Like the last production I was in here, or the last like main stage production I was in here, I played more of a smaller role and didn't exactly, in a bigger cast of like 25 people, so I didn't exactly have the same chance to collaborate with everyone. My costume designer is a student, the set designer is a student, the lighting designer is a student.
The student assistant director talks about her experiences with the cast.
The rehearsal process has been so much fun. The cast is absolutely great, and it's such a fun show to work on. I have enjoyed every single day, and the people working on the set are so dedicated. The set looks great. Every design element is really wonderful, so I've loved the rehearsal process.
The unnecessary fast cast and crew are excited to present their production and all their hard work.
Farcical comedies are really fast-paced, really physical, and just really, you have to be really committed physically and vocally. Hopefully really show the audience what farce really is.
For SPTV, I'm Ji-Sung Kim.
Unnecessary Farce will be showing for 2 weeks, and the tickets are selling out quickly. To buy a ticket, visit the Dreyfus University Center information desk. Poetry is a great way to tell a story and express yourself, but sharing your poetry with others is just as important, especially with the incentive of having the opportunity to share the stage with a professional poet. Centertainment Productions is having a poetry slam where students have the chance to listen to or to perform poetry pieces. The top 3 poets will have the chance to perform with poet Neil Hilborn, who is a College National Slam Poetry winner. To compete, students must sign up in advance at the DUC information and ticket desk. The event will take place Friday, October 21st at 10 p.m. in the DUC Encore Room. For more information, visit the Centertainment Facebook page. That's all the entertainment news we have for you tonight. Now over to Pointer Politics with Chris Watkins.
Thanks, Hope, and welcome back to Pointer Politics. This past Sunday, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump clashed in the second presidential debate. This debate was formatted as a town hall meeting in which the candidates had to answer questions not only from the mediators, but from the American public as well. Undecided voters were able to ask their own questions to the candidates that range from immigration policies, ISIS, taxes, and more. The third and final presidential debate will take place Wednesday, October 19th at 9 p.m. at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Wisconsin is going to have to change more than their political officials this year. Over the course of the week, the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, is in Madison looking over the state's laws regarding pollution. Their job is to decide whether or not the federal government needs to step in to enforce the laws that Wisconsin has been lax about. According to Emily Hammond, a George Washington University law professor who co-authored a study of federal investigations like this, most states take action immediately to avoid the embarrassment of having to face environmental authority and have that authority revoked. The investigation into the state's pollution laws is moving quickly as complaints against the state are being addressed. The EPA will file for certain changes to be made within the upcoming week. Lastly, in our latest update of the polls, Hillary Clinton has taken a larger lead with 47% of the votes. Donald Trump falls behind with 42% of the projected votes, while Johnston and Stein have 7% and 2% of the votes, respectively. The second debate has greatly impacted voter opinion of the candidates, and with the election in just 4 weeks, every opportunity to sway the voters count. Well, that's all we have for you this week in Pointer Politics. I'm Chris Watkins. We'll be right back after the break.
Stand by camera 1. Coming in on camera in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take camera 1.
SPTV News serves Stevens Point, the largest city in Portage County and home to 26,000 people. SPTV News covers campus, local, and national news, as well as local sports and entertainment. Melissa Mitrovic will present you the latest in Point news. Tune in to Charter Channel 983 or visit our YouTube channel. SPTV News, pointing to you.
That's all the news we have for you tonight. Make sure you keep yourself updated on SPTV's social media pages.
Until next week, Stevens Point, good evening.